вечером в своих домах, прячем мысли в темноте, многокамерных дворцах, возвращении к себе, в белом платье простыней, в окружении сестер, в саванах ночных рубах, внимательно молчат дома из серого бетона и стекла. Вставай, приходит в город новая весна. Все как будто не со мной, все как будто бы во сне, шум трамвая как прибой в этой странной тишине. Время замерло в часах в ожидании утра, вечной пыли на шкафах, внимательно молчат дома из серого бетона и стекла. Вставай, приходит в город новая весна. В дома из серого бетона и стекла. Прости, мы больше не вернемся никогда. Молчат дома из серого бетона и стекла. Вставай, приходит в город новая весна. В дома из серого бетона и стекла. Прости, мы больше не вернемся никогда.
Hey, I've settled for enough. It was fine. Hello, everyone. My name is Notepad Anon, and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Today we're going to be going over Spell of the Black Magician, a role-playing game about, well, it's actually the first Russian role-playing game. Thank you all very much. The second Soviet-Russian role-playing game experience. See, that's always the weird statement with this one, is that I have to say it's the second game. It's great. I would also like to say hello to Kiddo Butai. Thank you for following. Actually had my Power Rangers game, and it looked pretty well put together so far. Well, that's good. That's goody. Gucci. Let me actually open the PDF up. Last time we actually got some work done. We actually got quite a bit done, actually. Let me open the right book, because none of the books are right, and they all sound weird, because we can't have nice things, because we are all Russian. And as you must know, the Russians do not allow anyone to have... Nothing good comes from Russia. Nothing good at all. So, let's see. We got done with the BAP. Yeah, so we got done with the BAP, otherwise known as we've got done with all the character classes, I believe. So let me zoom down there real fast. There's the BAP. There we go. Now we're going to start from right here. But don't worry. We do have one good thing that comes from Russia. We've got Manly, everyone. My favorite Russian. Heading 1. Oh goodness, we got a lot of stuff to do, but I'm okay with that. Okay, I see how it is. I was going to sleep. I saw my friend Notepad see that he hits me with this one. See, Manly, you are my favorite Russian. You are truly my strongest tiger ball. Yeah, no, I meant to stream earlier. I meant to stream about 40 minutes ago, actually. But we found a weird cannibalism manga and we wanted to go over it. Because it looked weird, and Pepper got an ad for it, so we felt compelled to look at it. That was a mistake in every single possible way. I regret it so much. You have no idea how much I regret. Cannibalism manga? What? Yes, for some reason there was an ad going on for a manga that was effectively a cannibalism thing. I read like the first 3 chapters. Also, who's that bitch in the corner? Hey, Manly, what are you doing? No, that is of course Hibinawa. She's a Russian VTuber. Ah, I see. You don't want the false host. You want the real co-host. Yes, a cannibalism manga. Let me actually see if I can let me see. It's it was Starving Anonymous. Yeah, right here. It was called Starving Anonymous. It was on an ad for some reason. Pepper saw the ad and she was like, I need to tell everyone about it. So I looked at it and I was like, I wonder what it's about, because there's like a single line being like, oh, she's had 20 children. She's 18 and she's had 20 children. And everyone was like, oh, that's really weird. Why would you say that? Why would you ever say that? Why is this here? Is there a reason? So I felt compelled, and that was a mistake. It was a horrible mistake, and I regret it immensely. But that's what happens when you go down rabbit holes, everyone. When you go down rabbit holes, you find yourself face to face with a rabbit, and that rabbit sometimes is a weird, fucked up monster that you look at and you're like, wow, that's horrible. Why would you ever post that? Why would you post this? That's my question. But alas, here we are. It doesn't matter. Because as they say, life is pointless and and everything is misery. Let's see. We want to do Presenter and the Book of Life. Presenter and the Book of Life. One of the players becomes the leader. The presenter is not a character, does not play in a team. He's actually a god who determines all events, makes decisions for monsters, assumes the role of companions of characters, merchants, and guards. He is the supreme judge and resolves all disputes arising between the characters. The presenter owns the Book of Life, which tells the adventures that can happen to you. He also thinks out all of the details that are not in the Book of Life. The interest of the game is largely determined by the skill of the presenter and his imagination. The presenter must have a talent of storytelling to make the game fun and interesting. Presenters should not help any character, but also should not specifically harm them or pursue them. Can we get a cleaner translation of that? Becomes the host, master. There we go. I like the term de facto god. That's such a strange way of wording it, but this should be example if I were... Okay, yeah, this is for example. For example. Dun dun dun. You enter a spacious hall. You enter a spacious hall. We are headed to the exit. Ha ha ha. It's too late. It's too late to run. The doorway behind you is tightened by brickwork. You're left alone with an angry dragon. Flames burst out. You... That's such a... Yep, we're looking at boomerisms here, everyone. Duties of presenters also include calculations during battle, throwing dice for monsters. He has tables, characters for monsters, weapons, and objects at his disposal. Of course, again, as usual, we will be double checking all of this afterwards during the compilation phase. It is time getting there. And these guys do not believe in the brevity of wit. Oh well, hello people, hello Manly. You're Manly Stammen and a tiger. Yes, he is. He is our little tiger ball. Let's see. Luckily, a lot of these is just pretty easy to port over. Now we're getting to some of the bigger ones. I love giant blocks of text. Giant blocks of text can either be very easy to translate or very weird to translate. It really depends on the situation. Some of like the ones that are easy to translate are like, this is just very direct. Though luckily this is not fucking Enchanted Country, where fucking Enchanted Country is just like, fuck you. You don't get to have fun. Here's a bunch of weird Russian slang for you to deal with. You don't like the Russian slang? Well, too bad. You don't get to have fun. I'm like, oh. Uh-oh. You don't like the obscure Russian slang for words that don't exist? Oh man, sucks to be you, I guess. Like, Kirwa. See, I can say that for this game because technically it is inspired by Polish D&D. Good old-fashioned Polish D&D. It's like real D&D except infinitely more sad. Okay, so we've got all of this. I'm doing it like this just to make sure we've got everything right. What does this say? The Book of Life. The Book of Life. Map shows the roads on which the main events play. Both roads and castle divided into numbered location descriptions contained in the Book of Life. This is the GM section. We do not know how to roll dice yet, but we are going to learn how to GM. The presenter chooses any adventure described in the chapter, Roads. Because remember, this is a board game. It's been a while, but this is a board game masquerading as a real game. Oh. Words, but it's okay when you use a droid. A droid is a word! No, but what do... It's a word, goddammit. It's always been a word. Y'all laugh. Fuck you. I don't gotta deal with you, this kind of... Droid works. It's a real fucking word. Not many people use a droid, but people use it. It's a word that people use sometimes. Like for attributes. English BA graduate, yes. I needed a word, okay? It worked. I used it from Song of Swords, thank you very much. But Spell of the Black Magician is effectively the sequel to Enchanted Country. It is the first Russian role-playing game. And I say that as the idea being it is the second role-playing game. Because the first role-playing game, Enchanted Country, was part of the Soviet Union, and this was actually post-Soviet Union in the Russian Federation, but is effectively... Spell of the Black Magician can really best be described as the sequel to Enchanted Country. You could kind of call it a second edition, but they changed some aspects of the game quite heavily. Yes, it's like the word twee. No one uses the word twee, but I do. You kind of see there's some things such as, where is the line that's a little bit goofy that I thought was very funny? You have mana in this game. The number on the cubes. We've actually learned how to use the number cubes this time. One of the weird things about this game is that you don't have stats necessarily. You may be wondering, what do you mean you don't have stats? Yeah, you don't really have real stats. Everyone starts at level 0. Let me bring up the let me bring up the Cuck class warrior. So, for example, every level, a warrior is going to be able to increase their stats to strength, dex, luck, protection, accuracy. Now, what those do, they're a little bit different than what we would say than normal. Almost all checks you can kind of consider to be like THAC0. It's to hit something else. You have a 2 strength, that means you just reduce something else by, it's just too easier to hit it. And the way they word it's like you're reducing the difficulty by that amount. But it's pretty simple. We're still using the D18 system, thank you very much. Because the DAT system is insane and we can never escape it. It's beautiful. Luck is incredibly broken, by the way. Luck is very broken. Quaint. Quaint's a great word. Fuck you. God, yeah, you fucking ESLs. Yeah, you don't get to judge me at all. You don't even speak English as a first language. Fucking making fun of me. I don't want to take this kind of abuse. In the dark corner where the torchlight does not penetrate, an ogre is hiding. From the darkness, he's carefully watching the chest. A secret door and schemes from the background masonry, which is 5-8. Yeah, one of the things about this game, though, is that it is a board game. Which is kind of weird to say, but it is a board game. There's a set end goal. There's actually a very set end goal in this game. That set end goal is defeating the Black Wizard, but you're going to need a lot of power to do such. And you're going to need more power, you're going to need more resources, you're going to need to be better at your job. Which is to say, we're going to force the wizard to be better at his job, because wizards are yet again broke as shit in this game. Also, now that I think about it, it isn't D18 like 3d6, but fucked up. Well, the thing is, it's what I mean by D18. It is the it's 2d6. This is the thing. It's 2d6, except one is 0, 6, 12, and the other is 1 through 6. We calculated it out. It is actually 1d18. That's just what it is. It's very strange, but it is. That they even give you the option to play it with a d20, which I find very funny. But you may be wondering, man, wouldn't, like, oh hey, isn't this actually like more convenient, and we would be, factor in the fact there's 2 extra numbers? No, they actively say if you roll a 19 or 20, just re-roll the dice until you don't, because it goes to 1 to 18. Like, fuck you. I'm like, oh, alright, based, cool, this is fine. When are magic users not broken? See, the thing is, Russia doesn't believe in fighters having fun. This is an important thing to note. You may be wondering, what do you mean they don't know how to make barbarian, things fun? Barbarians are the worst class in the game because they can use no magical weapons. They effectively have no magical weapons. Their build is very strange and terrible and takes forever. Now, let's compare that to the wizard here. This is the magician. The magician gets more mana, very actively gets more mana. Not only are the best weapons, some of the best magical weapons in the game, daggers, they also get access to spells, which they are able to use very actively. And a lot of those spells are like, you die instantly. Warriors do not. Thieves get a lot of bonuses because they get luck. Priests get spells. Barbarians do not. Marshals, they can't have nice things. Yeah, Ars Magica is pretty good when it comes to balancing wizards out, simply because being a wizard sucks in Ars Magica. Not sucks as in the idea of, like, you're really bad. More sucks in the idea of life is pain and you can never have nice things. Because you'd be like, man, I really hope my life isn't terrible today. And then it's just like, surprise, it's me. Something horrible happening to traumatize you forever. Like, no. Not again. Wah, wah, wah. We'd all love the fact, we would all love that if people weren't, horribly maimed or horribly injured by attacks or whatever in Ars Magica, but that doesn't happen. You don't get to have nice things in that regard. Also, you might be looking at, like, this K here, and you're like, oh, is it like a roll and keep system? No, it's not a roll and keep system. That is how the Russians actually write D. That's how they write the word, die, so it would look like this. It's plus D6 or whatever. That's just the way they write things. That is the actual notation-wise. Bottles. Which I did learn. Maratig isn't here tonight, unfortunately. Mara actually had some good insight into that, because they actually do not refer to dice as dice pretty much at all in Enchanted Country, because that just didn't exist. Death Luck 9. Indication, action, numerical designation are assigned to the bottles. Death, Luck 9. Yes, what's your Yeah. K is both for cube and gawk and dice. Yeah, that's how you fucking write dice. That's how you put dice in. It's for their D. That's effectively what I'm saying. It's for their dice. K is for your dice, for cube or dice. Jesus, Manly. Do you think I'm insulting you all that much? I think, like, one of the big things is Enchanted Country did not have notation for anything. You just said, oh, roll 2 cubes. And it's like, oh, or roll 2 dice. And they usually wrote them as cubes, by the way, in Enchanted Country. It was roll 2 cubes, because that's how they fucking refer to dice. Isn't that right, Manly? You don't call them dice, you call them cubes. Hence why we have life cubes now. Sorry, everyone. Let me roll the life cubes. Here, let's see. How do we pronounce this? I want to learn how to pronounce cube real fast. I want to learn how to pronounce cube. How to pronounce. I want to learn. Kub. Wow, it's called Kub. Huh. How strange. I have no idea what it contains. More if you don't know if there's anything in it. If it's empty, you will do not have a drink recognizer. You will have no, and the presenter will inform you of the results. I see they kept the drink recognizer. Ah, yes. How can I forget such a pivotal piece of equipment to the Russian lexicon? The drink recognizer. Yes. Because dice is not a word. Dice is a... What? You Russians just don't know what circles are. Oh, the cube. Cube's cube. Cube. Well, let's play a game, Manly. I wanna play a game. I wanna play a game. Cube in Cubo. That's what Cubo. I want a Cubo in Spanish. Let's go to let's go somewhere else. Hungarian, Kaka. Kochka. Come on, get your kochkas ready. The kochkas. Kochka. It's fucking Hungarian. God. Though I should say, I mean, Manly, you do know all about Hungarian, don't you? Manly's favorite, for those who don't know, Manly's favorite language is Hungarian. He is an ardent Hungarian supporter out there. He is a very strong supporter of the Hungarian people. Mostly due to his time of having to go through Iron Hunter. See, Manly having to translate Iron Hunter was a fun experience for everybody, I think, because I got to witness Manly want to kill me. I've never seen a man more frustrated with me before, outside of that. And like, I don't know why everyone was surprised that I had such great and wonderful ways of wording things. When when half of my experience has just been writing nonsense. Places where travel can rest in long seasons, exciting battles and exciting adventures and hot battles. Do we have a better word for hot battles? Passionate battles. Thirsty battles. Is that really the word we're working with here? Can we have another word for hot? Warm. I mean, that has to be a better word, right? I mean, hot, fiery, heated battle. I'm guessing it's trying to say heated battles, not hot battles. Fuck you, is passionate or violent in this case. All right, goodbye, Manly. Welcome back, Fall. Welcome back, Benoit. Hello, Mara. Fuck you. Is passionate or violent in this case? What do you mean in this case? Is there exception cases to certain words? Oh Lord. So I guess we could use violent, yeah, exciting adventures and violent battles. Here you can eat, drink, chat, and if desired, you can also fight with visitors who doubt your prowess. Fights in taverns are peaceful conversations. It's entirely responsibility of the host. It is not our problem if you get into a fight. Stored per day. 2 coins per day for each character. It's very easy to restore your mana, but you can actually restore your mana in this game. Scroll through the day of playing time or dramatic events occurring in the tavern and host must come up with. Yeah, let's see. So we need to put there. Just you could be hot like temperature hot, or hot like mama. That's a spicy tamale. I'm just gonna be very honest and say I assume every day in Eastern Europe is a mix of Tarkov and GTA, especially in Russia. See, it's a silly Russian's a silly language, such a silly tongue. It's a quaint language, you might say. Not very adroit, eruditious even. I hope you know I'm gonna put the word eruditious in something just to fuck with all of you. There's for no other reason. This is we got another big example here. Yes, this situation seems quite eruditious. I just want Manly to have a stroke. I don't think you quite understand, squad. That's all I want. I just want Manly to have a stroke. Would you believe that I am seriously considering teaching English to children? This is the best part. Non-player characters. There's a situation. People are monsters whom you have rendered some service or simply pay. They become members of your team, but the host must win them back. What? Be played by the leader. Leader may not play him, but just remember that they accompany the team. He may have enough troubles without them, but it'd be much more interesting if companions become full-fledged members of the team for a while. And assistance during combat, the leader must roll the dice for them and plan their actions during the battle. Alright. Congratulations, this game actually has deeper companion rules than like 30% of games. It's great. The knight, wounded and weakened. Share with you all the heritage of the journey and take part in 3 battles and go back to fulfill his knightly duty. The knight stays with you until you win, with a little help from the knight, of course. Several fights with the monster. If the host is faithfully play the role of the knight, then you can expect fights where they could be avoided. If the leader plays the role of the knight faithfully, you may have fights where you could have avoided them. You're in the company of drunken orcs who are located, shouting obscene songs. Let's say the drunken orcs are not a hindrance to you. Don't relax, but the knight, through the mouth of the host, will try to tell the orcs some nasty stuff and provoke a fight. As a GM, cause trouble on purpose. I understand. I always knew that causing trouble... Oh, Jesus Christ. What if we just threw the entire book at you? No, Ben, I'm going to ruin a whole generation of children by telling them eruditeness and adroitness. Hey, you make it out to be like I have committed like this horrible sin of the English language of using two words that are really actual words. God, what did I do wrong, Manly? Yeah, they were a bit goofy, but I needed to fit them in there. It worked. It worked fine. Eruditeness. Eruditeness is a word. It is a way to say that word. It's a weird way of saying it, but it is a way of saying it. Google backed me up on that, Manly. I have a multi-billion-dollar company. You just have a dictionary. Who's really winning now? Manly's being dramatic again. Manly, manly, manly. Always dramatic. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. I get one word wrong and suddenly I'm the worst thing that ever existed. I'll have you know. I am a proud American, and I believe in American values. Vote, Notepad. Vote with your heart. Vote, Notepad. I'm not even in your country. Doesn't matter. Vote for me. This is a threat. I believe in American values. In American beliefs. Americanly. Yeah, this is attention. What is this section anyway? Battle. Okay, we've finally hit the battle section. Oh Jesus, that's just one example. Oh yeah. We're gaming. Part of me wants to put that in just like, no, we're gonna keep it as accurate as possible. Like, yeah, this is just an example battle here. I probably don't need to translate this entirely. However, I will because I want to know how battle works. Hey, Notepad. Why the fuck are there so many boy gets betrayed, kicked out of the party, and now has a goddess as a sex slave manga? Well, the thing is, you gotta remember, this is a fairly important factor, is we would love to believe that the Japanese are all very creative people. They are not. They are the opposite of creative. Most likely there was, I wouldn't say it was Shield Hero. There's probably one. One before, one after, or whatever. There was a manga that did well. Or a light novel, or a web novel. And then others got inspired by it and wrote their own. and they also they had ones that inspired to write their own, which wrote their own. Kind of the idea of like, oh, you get betrayed and kicked out of the party. It allows you to immediately establish a problem. It allows you to establish a hero, establish a issue to deal with. I've been kicked out of the party because I'm not very useful, but I'm secretly overpowered. Or, oh, I've been kicked out of the party, but I was always the tank. Or, hey, I got kicked out of the party and I was a healer. Or, hey, I got kicked out of the party and I'm gonna fuck your mom or whatever. Which, by the way, MILF Sakai is still going. That's it. We've completely lost the plot with that one. It's still going. So it's like, oh, alright. It's just immediately there. Like, you've established a situation. We know who the character is. We know his rough skill level, his experience. It's done. Then it's like, oh, well, he now has bought a slave, or there's a slave or something. And I've described this before. One of the things with like slavery and things in Japan is that, one, it's universally considered pretty fucking evil. So no one cares of, oh no, I'm gonna fight people, fight the slavers. Yeah, alright. No one's going to care that you're fighting slavers. No one's going to be like, yes, this is morally complex. No, this is not morally complex. You just fucking kill them and no one cares. And you're weird if you support them. No one cares. It also allows you to immediately have a reason of why the two characters meet. Why does our boy meet this girl? Because he bought her at a slave market, or he found her at the slave market, saved her, or some weird thing like that. It is legitimately just a way to immediately have companionship between two characters. And it also allows them being like, oh, well, he saved me. I'm now attracted to him because he saved me. Or, hey, he didn't save me, and I'm still technically a slave, but he treats me really well. See? It also allows you to bring in, like, an exotic character in the weirdest, laziest way possible. Oh no, here is a wacky girl who has the ability to bend time, and she's an elf. Well, I've destroyed this slave caravan because I'm the strongest warrior in the world who's been kicked out of the hero party. I've saved the elf girl who could stop time and have nursed her back to health, and now she is my girlfriend. Boom, plot. Here, I'm gonna write everyone a awesome new isekai manga pitch. Tell me if you like it or not. So, our boy. He gets kicked out of the hero party. He has a super cool power. What it is, don't know yet. Doesn't matter. Super cool power that no one else knows about. But he's got it. And he's probably isekai. He's probably from Japan. Now, we've introduced him into the situation already. He's here. We've established what's going on. Now, because he is the superpower here and definitely knows these things, he views slavery as evil. He breaks someone out of slavery, and she is a superpowered robot elf slave girl with laser eyes. Yeah, that's what she does. Boom. You do 5 volumes, you get your light novel. You get your light novel, and then you leave. Elf slave, what do threads? Also, like, how the fuck do they keep getting these OP sexy women? Like, you think some of these people just be the final boss? Like, yeah, well, that's kind of the thing, too, being like, well, my girlfriend's super broke as shit. Because then she can never be in real danger, or you can treat her as Worf. You can treat her as permanent Worf. Oh, wow, you managed to defeat my awesome time stop elf android girlfriend. How how am I gonna defeat you? Oh, I'll use my equally broken, super awesome mega time stop awesome power that allows me to draw every single item from my bag at once and use them at once at full power. I'm also a grandmaster alchemist with the power to bend reality. Fuck you. Boom. I've solved it. Sorry, everyone. I've created the final isekai novel. It's, yeah, authors want, never met women IRL, have no idea how to get one for MC, so this at a woman's shop for it. So this, well, it's not even necessarily that, Mara. It's you need to get the main girl on the front cover in their group, in the hero party, in the main character's group in 15 pages. How do we do that? Well, he gets kicked out on page 2. He resolves all of that in page 3. He goes to the slave shop and he saves the girl, and now they're in the party, and now we can slap her and her gigantic boobs on the front cover. Boom. It is the fastest, most efficient way to get there that without thinking about anything else. That's the best part. It is how do we quickly get there as fast as physically possible, because we are not creative and we have no build up to any action ever. Man, this guy really is truly commercial. Well, yeah, because you have so many other isekai stuff out there. And if you really read some isekai, I will say this, really read some. Every single one of them has the weird thing with it that's just like, what the fuck were you on about? Like, what? That, huh? Because it's something like, oh, well, I'm actually a super farmer. What? Huh? That's stupid. Like I should read this, I guess, shouldn't I? I mean, I gotta figure out what the fuck being a super farmer is. Oh, hey. Oh, you've been isekai'd, and oh, it's this, but it's you're a vending machine this time. Hey, you're the greatest swordsman of all time. You're just like, how can this do? Be like, I'm a level 9,999 alchemist. Since I'm a level 9,999 alchemist, that's gotta be something good. Or, hey, I have a super broken power, and it's something like bunny manipulation, and they never use it, and it's a vending machine isekai got 2 seasons, by the way. Exactly, because it was just a bizarre, unnecessarily weird anime pitch. Because it's like, yeah, because all of these start as web novels. This is important. All of these things start as web novels. They escalate into a light novel, which escalates into a manga, which escalates into an anime. The really good ones skip the manga part entirely, and they just go from light novel to an anime. But yeah, that is quite literally it, because you need to have a pitch. You need to have the thing that gets you to where you need to go as fast as physically possible. How do I get as many eyes on this as possible? Well, obviously, you're going to have a ridiculous overblown cover with a giant big titty girl on it, and you need to make sure that everyone knows. Yeah, and put the entire story synopsis into the title. That is a legitimate reason, because there are so many light novels and stuff. You have to put the entire thing in there, because they have no confidence in it. So it's like, we're going to say exactly what it is, because remember, there's 500 other web novels out there that do have them in there. So you need to put it in there. It's not like, it's one of those things like, if I were to tell you like, hey, you should watch Monster, because Monster is really good. And you're like, what the fuck is Monster about? And then it's like, oh, well, it's about this. But if I tell you, oh, hey, you should really watch Kicked Out of the Hero Party, now I'm a level 9,999 alchemist with the power of the fucking Philosopher's Stone, You're like, oh, okay. I have a strange feeling I know what this is going to be about. It's going to be about a level 9,999 alchemist who has the power of the Philosopher's Stone. Wow! Huge J. Huge brain moment. Is it a tumor? Who knows? Probably. Yeah, that's just like, oh, you just need to get, how do you pitch things as fast as physically possible? And the answer is you just tell everyone right away. Like, I want to make sure that you damn well know exactly what's going on in the stupidest way possible. I forgot the one website that had all the weird, like, where all the web novels go from. But because there's like 2 websites, mind you, where a vast majority of like light novels and stuff, like the isekai light novels, come from. And that's where you can read the original Konosuba. Like the original Konosuba like web novel is really weird because all the characters act very differently and the way they view things are very differently. Because it was just like, yeah, this is just an idea. You get a lot more. Pretty much the main couple in that one is Aqua and Kazuma. Because that's what the guy originally wanted. That was the point. And there's like an entire thing of like, technically Aqua was another isekai. That was actually the pitch. Was Aqua was an isekai as well, but she asked for a bullshit wish of just becoming a goddess. So that's what she got, and it's like, yeah, I didn't really have an adventure because I didn't want one. Like, oh, all right, that's suitably a strange idea. Like, all right, I'm slightly in this situation, but they changed it because Megumin got so popular. No, the long titles are to appeal to themselves, because there are about 9,000 other things competing for eyes. That's like one important thing. Is this like it is so difficult to get those eyes on it. Like, you need to have a fucking huge title to just be able to pitch it. And because that's what's going to pop up on, what's the title of this work? This entire thing. Hey, what's this? This is the entire thing. No game, no life is loot. The ending was let's see. No game, no life is part of the loot to the point of being unreadable. Not the light novels are ever readable. Hey, Notepad, how can you make an isekai hero versus isekai demon lord shown in battle harem manga work? I mean, unironically, at that point, you just make that the joke. It's an isekai off, but one, like, that's the pitch. Isekai, literally, you can just call it isekai hero versus isekai demon lord. And just go for it and make one of them have huge tits. That's the entire pitch. Boom. $1 million idea. Thank you very much, Japan. Like, just make sure one of them has massive tits. Just an unreasonably sized bazonkers. Just completely unreasonable. You may be wondering, why are the completely unreasonable sized bazonkers important to the plot? And the answer is, it isn't. It's essential to the plot. Because if you don't have the unreasonable sized bazonkers, actually no, that's battle, right? Battle. No one's going to bother with it because there's going to be another one with the exact same pitch with characters with gigantic bazompers. The battle takes place in so-called step-by-step mode. Is divided into rounds. You translate the phase into a normal human language. It means that you and your opponents take turns. First, you take your actions, attack with chosen weapon, apply a spell, then move goes to the enemy, and it's turn after concrete action. doesn't have a brain. If you put mass tips on the demon lord, she's gonna get redeemed. Damn straight. I was reincarnated under with my crush, but she's the demon lord. That's already a fucking manga. I am like 90% sure that's already a fucking manga. At least 2 of them. Meta Isekai would be fun, where the hero keeps Isekai every time into a different world, but every new fantasy world is the same with all the generic BS. He starts to stop Isekaiing. That quite literally is a third of the plot of Overly Cautious Hero, I think it's called. Like Isekai Overly Cautious Hero or whatever. That is a third of the joke. The other two thirds of the joke is that he's very cautious. That is the entire thing. Is that he's been isekai to this world like 3 times. He's been isekai to other places before, and he just doesn't care. The thing with like light novels is light novels make sense if you are looking for people to just read a short book without thinking too hard about it. You are a teenager. You want to read a book on a train. What are you gonna read? You're gonna read something light. You're gonna read something simple. Now, mind you, I don't also believe, here's a big thing, I do not also believe that a vast majority of light novels we see are the ones that are being actively read all the time. There's probably a bunch of light novels that we'll never fucking see because they aren't good enough, if that makes sense. They're not like, why would we ever think about translating them or talking about them? Kind of like how we don't know every fucking Harlequin romance novel out there because it's just not worth talking about them. I read Human's Edge because I was an edgelord. Yeah, the edgelords notwithstanding, I can't say anything. I read fucking, I read Game of Thrones for the sole purpose of, hey, Game of Thrones is cool and for adults. So I'm going to read it too, and that was my mistake in life. If the whole team takes part besides you, and then you have to decide for yourself who attacks in what sequence, you have to decide who's where on the battlefield. If a battle involves the whole team in addition to you, you will have to decide for yourself who attacks in what sequence. You have to decide who is where on the battlefield. It is not superfluous to draw what you don't. Attention! Taking it, turn pass to attention. I believe these attentions are written by the people who are... Yeah, I believe anytime you see the word attention pop up, I believe that's added in post. Because the version we're going over is technically like an edited version of the game, technically, by a bunch of Russian boomers. The host must describe their unpleasant appearance as colorfully as possible. Utter a few threats and swear words on their behalf, and then draw on paper exactly where each other is located. Dun dun dun. Make sure to be racist. It should be clear that you can only attack an enemy who's close to you with a sword. Oh. It's so goofy, like reading these. Time for a fierce battle. It's close together. Players determine what's kind of 18 to find out which team attacks first. Let's say that. Yeah, because technically what occurs here is a little bit strange, so let me explain. They do not have there is technically 2 rounds of combat. They don't talk about it, but there's 2 rounds of combat. There is the range combat, there's the range one where you shoot it. Then you engage in real combat, like real men, and start punching each other in the face. There is a map, apparently, but the map is also a non-existent entity that also does not exist. I love it. His actions are completely played out by the host. Roll 1k18 die and figured out the orc has broken through the defense of the brave warrior. 18 is rolled. Read start again. Let's say 4 fell out. 2. The warrior lose 2 lives at the beginning of the duel. 18 now. 18. Oh no! The warrior's getting cocked. Who could have saw this coming? Host informs play the warriors reach the orc with the blade of a sword. 6 determined damage inflicted. Let's say 2 fell out. 2 is roll. Let's say 2 is roll. I love it. Like, oh, let's say this. Like, let's just say this. Theoretically speaking, theoretically speaking, let's say my sister had some Khazar milkers. My name is Ben Shapiro. Fire spear. As far away as the dice are thrown to determine whether the orc turns out to be agile. The dodge is fast and merciless. Fire spear. He did not turn out. He needs to throw at least 13. Oh, but only 10 is rolled. Force of the spells reach the goal. The fire spear takes 1 to 18 lives. Orc loses and he has 9 lives. Spent 4 mana successful, so 5 mana units left. The warrior did like 5 damage with his full like 2-handed greatsword. The wizard's like, I don't like this very much. I don't think so. Mind if I roll need? Wizard shit. Though luckily I have, through the combination of a little bit of effort, a little bit of working, and a lot of helping. A little bit of work, a little bit of hoping. And we did a little bit of looking around as well. So things were, oh geez. My mind is potatoes. I completely forgot what I was going to say. I looked at my friend and I looked at an image and my friend was just like, I'm reviewing custom Pathfinder 2e enemies. I'm like, don't do this. What? Oh, uh-oh. I love Pathfinder 2e. It's my favorite system. It is my favorite system of all time. There are no flaws with Pathfinder 2e. If you must know, there are no flaws with the game. The only issues I have with the game is that I'm not having more fun with it. I should be having so much fun playing it, but then you start playing Pathfinder 2nd edition and you realize just a bunch of little things build up with that game. Slowly and steadily. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock on the clock. And you start saying, wow, this is really annoying. You don't realize it's annoying until you're playing it. And then it's like, oh, this is the worst shit I've ever played because it's just annoying. Oh, how's your campaign going? It's going well. We're playing. Like I am having fun because I am with my friends. That's the thing. I am playing with my friends, so I am having fun. But it's just every now and again, I can sense like my nose bleed, like a little blood comes down my nose, where it was like, oh, cool, that's awesome. Is it finishing? No, we're going to level 15 in this campaign. We just hit level 5. And my other friend is already planning the pirate campaign he plans on running. Yeah, just to kind of give you an idea of my current state of, yeah, most unfortunate. I will never not be able to play Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I am stuck in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and I will never be able to escape. However, I have been debating on setting something up in my server. I don't know what that thing is going to be, but I have been debating it. Because I feel that it is, because how do I want to word this? The fact that I have realized that I am not going to be able to escape the fact that they just want to play Pathfinder 2nd Edition now. The fact that I have, it's kind of dawned on me. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be able to escape this, am I? I'm just stuck in this. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. So I've come to the conclusion that I need to, maybe start something up in my own server. I've got all of you there. So I'm like, I don't know how I would do it. That's why I was asking Q the other day. I was like, how do you do things? Especially Solid explained to him the game. Like I've been debating on doing it. I don't know what game. There's a few things. I don't know how to run the game properly because people like just use Roll20. I hate Roll20. I've never liked Roll20 very much. I've always had just bad experiences with it. The weapon has reached the target. So I've never been like super enthused to be like, yep, let's go back to Roll20. It's 20 in time. I'm like, maybe let's not. Maybe let's not do that. So I was actually looking for the other day to try to find kind of like a ideal state of being. I couldn't find one, unfortunately. Text reach target through. Yeah, I couldn't really find a method that suit me well. That's been kind of my issue right now. Is I'm trying to find a good way of a good system or a good method to play these games. And they're like, oh, well, what about this? And it's like, this doesn't support certain extensions that I would need to make this kind of game function properly. That's been kind of like a reoccurring issue, because obviously some of my games are very weird and they don't function well. Not to say they don't function well, but more along the idea of like they're different games that don't normally play like D&D. So a lot of these systems also assume you're just playing D&D. And if you don't just play D&D, the game itself is like, how about we don't do that? And instead, you play what everyone else is playing, which is Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Obviously, I don't want to play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. I want to play my games, but that's much more difficult than you would think. Let's see. 2, so no, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 15. So you're going to use one of the games that we're going to. So you're going to be using one of your games. Oh yeah. And that is the that would be the goal there, Lubu. Even if it was just like little things of like, we're just gonna play a combat out. There's gonna be no story. Here are some pre-generated characters. There's gonna be nothing else going on except the idea that we are playing a game. We're just gonna play a combat encounter out. We're just gonna play a small scenario out just to make sure to see if this works the way that I see it. During the game, there may be a situation you have to escape to the battlefield. In this case, during your turn, instead of usual actions in battle, you need to roll the dice of 18. You need to roll K18 and look at the table to see if you manage to escape the enemy. If you could not escape, then you miss your turn. On next turn, you try to escape again, attack the enemy. The probability of escape depends on your level and the monster you're fighting. I should say, I should ask Mara, how did you use this to fix it? I know you typed it out before, but I am going to add it as a side note in this version. I'm like, here's a side note by one of the actual people. Dexterity monster level, probability of escape. Yeah, give me one. We're gonna copy paste this in here. I am literally just going to put a basic table here. We're just gonna put a very basic table here, just to make sure. I'm gonna put that in. I'll probably add it in during the compilation phase of like, hey, here's how you're gonna make this. If you want to actually, if for some unholy fucking reason you feel compelled to actually play this game, this is how you're going to do it. And it's gonna make your life a lot easier. For some unholy fucking reason. But yeah, no, I would be inclined, if that makes sense, to run playtests in my server, or at least for someone, but I need to find a way to actually play those games more efficiently, because right now it's like I either rely on a really jank way of doing things, and I like literally like open up like a fucking document being like, we're gonna play it like this, or I go to something like Roll20, but I don't really want to go to Roll20 because Roll20 is not my favorite thing in the world, and I don't really want to deal with Roll20 at all. I don't like it very much. I don't like actually most VTTs. Being perfectly frank, I don't like most VTTs because I find them very annoying. I like running in person. Because running in person, I can just like set up things the way I exactly want them to be, but I realize running in person's a fucking meme. So monsters. I do not own Foundry. I do not own Foundry. Nor do I want to buy Foundry. And the issue is you need to, how do I want to word it? You need to do a lot of background stuff with it. You need to do a lot of coding stuff with it to make it actually work properly. So there's a lot of that, and it's a lot of like token relationships are very annoying. I find token relationships to be very annoying and confusing, because what happens in, like, the thing with Foundry that's a little bit interesting is that there's technically every token out there is actually about 3 layers of a token. Because you have the individual actor, you have the token identity, the current token identity, and the backwards token identity. So you could say, this is an individual monster. This is Jim Bob the Orc. You've created the upper level, the kind of the forward-facing token of Jim Bob the Orc. He's got all the stats of a regular orc, but he's an independent entity from the other orcs out there. That is how he's facing. You've changed the name of that. You haven't changed the background saying that this is an independent entity now known as Jim Bob the, known as an orc. And that's very frustrating to me because I'm a brainlet. CC Folia is in Japanese, and I actually looked at CC Folia, for those who don't know what CC Folia is. This is CC Folia. Offered in machine translation. We would really like to believe that it's this really efficient, cool thing. You really don't have, you quite literally need to very heavily use a, various, it's not as easy as we would like it to be, and if I had it my way, I would make things a little bit simpler and try to do things, even that kind of like fighting me a little bit here. There are a lot of options, of course. You can do, you add in a bunch of these options to play around with. You want to play Year Zero, Witch Quest, Venticle, Warhammer 4th edition. Like, there is a lot of games to do things in. You really do a lot of things, and I'm assuming if you really play around with it, you can find more. I've been trying just to find the ideal outcome and trying to kind of wrangle CC Folia. This would work for some things, but others not so much. Mostly when it comes to the idea of like characters and things like that, it gets a little janky because it works a little bit off that token. That makes sense. Works a little bit off that token reliability, and sometimes it just isn't quite the way that it wants to work, and then I get frustrated with it, and you kind of see like, oh, here are the characters and stuff. Like, this is what a character would look like. So you would need to have a, how do I want to word that? You would quite literally need to make things certain way. There's a lot of setup to this, the CC Folia, all of which is, so you're saying that the future for DMs is to find the VTT they like and then go to learn it inside and out and run games in them. Yes. That is literally convergence theory in a nutshell. Is that every single one of these games is going to, pretty much a majority of games are going to find ways to go on their particular site, and that's just going to be the place where they are. We kind of saw that with Yaziba's a little bit, because Yaziba's has one multiverse, for example, but then you get things like Roll VTT. Like, Roll VTT is this. Why don't you use Roll VTT, Notepad? You already got an account. Why don't you do this? It's super easy. Because I don't like the I don't like the company very much, truth be told. I think it's they're a little bit janky. You kind of see there's a bunch of like role creator stuff on here, and I can guarantee you they don't like me very much. But like you got role, you've got one multiverse. We kind of talked about one multiverse before. One more multiverse, sorry. Kind of see all this stuff. This is their gimmick. There's Astral VTT. Oh, Astral's dead. But it got moved in a different one. I remember that. It became a different thing. That was the... Yeah, Foundries one, Roll 20. Owlbear Rodeo is another one. What was the VTTs? Yeah, just to kind of give you the idea. Top virtual tabletops. The D&D one that isn't out yet. Not yet released. Alchemy is coming out. Shmeppy is there. Let's Roll, which is different from everything else. All about Rodeo. You've got the RPG engine, which is a completely different thing. You've got Roll. You've got Above VTT. You've got Tailspire. You've got Dice Weaver. You've got Shard. You've got TTS. Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, and fucking Roll 20, of course. Like, there are so many goddamn... so many of these damn VTTs that it's getting somewhat unmanageable from like just a... It's the streamer wars all over again, effectively. And big enough, so you are saying you are big enough for VTT guys to go and keep track of you, but not big enough to get hired as a contract for game companies? No, it's because I called their baby game. It's because I called one of their games a shit heap, and it was terrible, and whoever wrote it was stupid. It was that. Yeah. One of the other things you kind of got to remember, like, I don't really make people happy with some of my comments. I know I'm on a few blacklists out there because I make comments about people's games saying, this is terrible, you shouldn't play this is awful. And they don't like that because suddenly they start popping up on things and suddenly I'm the problem. That was kind of like one thing I realized the other day about Numenon. I was looking up something about Numenon, and I looked at images, and I realized that I am right here on Numenon. Yeah, my video on Numenon actually pops up here. Why? I don't know, but on some of these games, I pop up simply because I'm the only one on YouTube who's talked about them in any serious capacity. I'm not like, oh, well, I'm super cool or what. I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to say, like, it's very sad how small our fucking industry is. Let's see. Increasingly, the way you meet singly out. They just fuck up and just put this in the wrong place. I think they just fucked us and put this in the wrong place. Like, yeah, I think it's supposed to be like, this is like a clear break line here, but I think they just fucked up and put it all together. Yeah, I'm thinking that happened. You show up for exquisite and SEO. That's and zero actual reason to use anything other than Roll20 or Foundry. Peaked. That's the like the thing is, I don't like Roll20 because Roll20 fights you every step of the way, and it's very unintuitive if you don't buy their stupid thing. And I don't like the fact they got bought by Or Group. Foundry, you gotta pay, and then you gotta set up servers, and then there's a bunch of other fucking thing that's just annoying. I don't much care for Foundry because I'm a brainlet. Your cynicism not going poggers at everything. Do I even show up for exquisite replicas? I don't think I will pop up for exquisite replicas. And I can guarantee you why I don't pop up for exquisite replicas, because I didn't make a video on it. I made a rapid fire on it because there just wasn't that much to talk about with exquisite replicas. That was kind of one of the issues with exquisite replicas, is that there wasn't really much to talk about, because I said this is a really weird game to talk about. Yeah. Abstract Nova. What's... This one's actually on the list, by the way. This one's on the list. There's a few different games that are on the list, but yes, this one is on the list actually. I can't pronounce it, but it's there. I guarantee you. Fuck are you? Additional attacks. Yeah, we're going to do a split here because there isn't actually that many. Like, relatively speaking, there aren't that many, so I'm just going to do Russian and English. I also have this weird thing, like, people think I, like, go out of my way to be negative about certain games. It's like, I really don't. I don't go out of my way to be negative. I just am. I am just unfortunately a negative person sometimes. I don't mean to be, but it do be that way sometimes. It's not my fault your game is bad. It's not my fault your game is actually trash. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okasan. Watashi no niño. Here comes the boys. Okay. Oh. Glaciation. I like glaciation. Yeah, just turned a block of ice, like 1 to 18 live. What's your problem? I'm suffering from glaciation. Petrification, good old-fashioned petrification. Here comes the button. That's a guy. Also not review games you like at all. Don't worry, we get rich. I will get PT you deserve and run all your games. You reflect on what games you have. You gave you nothing, so you said nothing. When I get rich by an African island, just live there away from my problems. That last sentence for all of them. Yeah. It's the exact same sentence for all of them, but well, here's the thing with Yazibas. I do plan on making a video for Yazibas. It'll probably be next week. Honest to God, it'll probably be next week. And I know what I want to say about it. I want to say that it's very interesting. And I'm not going to lie about that. I'm not going to lie about the fact that Yazibas is a very interesting game. However, I also really find car accidents interesting. I find horrible diseases interesting. I find many things interesting, but that doesn't mean they're good. And I want to kind of like, I want to do, it's not necessarily going to be like, let's talk about Yazibas and how it's an interesting game, but it's more like, let's talk about Yazibas and the fact that it's not a role-playing game. And, you know, it's a little, I want to do a little bit of a higher-minded talk on Yazibas, just because I find it interesting from just kind of a, kind of an industry point of view, being like, yeah, this game's going to do well. There's no doubt about that Yazba's going to do well. Actually, you know, Muso, you got your ear to the ground. Has Yazba's been selling at all? Like, I'm actually curious. Like, one of the things is we can't really see much things when it comes to like itch.io numbers. Like, that's kind of one big thing to note. Also like the fact that petrification is not an insta-kill this time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bell the Black Magician. It's going to kill you though, but it will kill you, but not right away. Good luck throw from paralysis. We're poison. Good old poison. I love poison. Poisoning a character. When a character is hit, 1d6 lives are calculated. For each turn, 1 life will be taken away until he takes the antidote or loses consciousness until he has 0 lives. Take away a life. They cannot take away more than they have the poisoning of a character. When a character is hit, that's just a completely different sentence. Why is it there? Like, why are you here? This is a completely different sentence. Take away lives, but they cannot take away more than they have. But they cannot take away more than the character has. Wow. I would have never guessed, Spell of the Black Magician. I would have never guessed that you cannot take damage more than you have. Wow. Holy shit. Hot diggity damn. Poison attack or say a glaciation, it has 12. The character becomes 0 life. In this case, the character loses consciousness. And there's no further reduction of lives. And it is luck roll against. Yeah, I should write that. Luck roll against. Part of me wants to keep. Part of me really does want to keep glaciation, even though I could probably put freezing in and it'll be a lot easier. It would be a lot nicer to roll in just, you know, freezing or something like that. On the other hand, glaciation is such a funny word. Oh no, what happened to you? I've been glaciized. Oh no, you've been glaciized. Okay, my goal is we're gonna try to get this done today. That is my main goal. That's the plan. And we're going to do this as da 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 weapon items. Okay, so there's a few ways to do this, and we're gonna do it in a little bit of a jank way. So effectively, there is 4. So we're going to need to do 8 of these. And we're going to do a row above. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Can I just want to write these in. I'm just gonna write these in. Don't know what they are yet. I just want to. I bring it down to 10. Something like this. Yep. So I'm going to make a wild guess and say this is weapon. This is going to be what? Price. Price. Attack. And this is going to be notes. Yeah, I was right. Man, it hurts being a fucking genius. So. Just want to get a nice, simple. Is that a note somewhere? Ah, yes, of course. It's a vital piece of information saying that it's a two-handed weapon. Or it's a one-handed weapon. It's literally, oh my god, why'd you write it this way? Why do you hate me so? What did I do to you? I believe that would be one hand. One hand. A short sword. Okay, so I'm gonna make a wild guess and say this is a long sword. So 50, 52, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're just gonna go down the list. We're just gonna make all the swords, put in all the big swords. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mm-hmm. 200, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9. And this is I believe that would be a two-handed weapon. And then we have this horrible, horrible thing, which is just massive, which is going to be 500 gold, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10. And this is going to be that kind. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert row above, merge cells together, and these are going to be swords, right? Because I am a genius. As you know, I am in fact the most intelligent man here. 'Cause I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, so these won't change regardless, so I don't need to worry about that as much. So we need to just do broadsword, longsword, broadsword, longsword, two-hand sword. This is the gold two-handed gold sword. Two-hand gold sword. You can tell it's more important because it's gold. You may not like it, but this is what we like to call ultimate power in the hood. This would mean... Okay, so this would be... Okay. What are we dealing with here? We're dealing with, axes? Yes, axes. Alright, time for some axing, because, you know, obviously, you know, axes are going to be super powerful, right? Because barbarians have to use axes. It would be ridiculous if they weren't very powerful, because, you know, that would be silly. That would be absolutely ridiculous if they weren't as powerful, even more powerful, arguably, because, you know, they're really valuable and important to the gameplay of the barbarian, right? Right? You come on, Mara. I know. I can tell. I can tell. Don't worry. I can tell. I can tell. They're gonna be super good. They're gonna be super high quality. No. No. In any hand, that's any-handed, two-handed, right-handed. So this would be any hand, right hand. I get what they're trying to say is like you have to use this in your main hand. I might change the wording on that. Hey, Notepad, out of all the World of Darkness games, which one do you think is the hardest to run as a GM? And if you were hired to do it legit World of Darkness original concept, what would you do? Like setting and theme and shit. The absolute most difficult one to run out of all the World of Darkness games, probably Mummy, because Mummy is very esoteric. I would say of the more recent ones, Promethean. That was like that was a very big thing. Promethean is difficult to run for the sole reason that Promethean does not want you to be part of a group. That's one of the weird things. Promethean fucking hates you and the fact that you are even considering running it. It does fight you a lot of the way. So it's kind of one of those things where it does kind of fight you a little bit on that. I'm not a huge Promethean is really fun concept. It will kill you though. Like even GMing it. Completely legitimate World of Darkness game right off the bat. Kind of they covered everything these days. Kind of everything that I would say like gothic horror, like this is scary shit. The only thing that I would want to do, I don't really know. See, that's kind of like one of those things that I'm like, If you were to gun to head, I would probably say, unironically, like an Immortals game, kind of like Highlander. Kind of the idea, like, you do have an inherent sense of, like, we're going to be fighting each other at the end, but there's some bigger threats going on. Has released a Patreon exclusive game, Draft. I imagine it has sold poorly. Because I don't know what the fuck Yazeba's... I do not understand Yazeba's target audience. And he's like, oh, people are going to hate this game because it's different and weird. I'm like, no, they're going to hate it because it makes no fucking sense, you little mongoloid. I'm like, what the fuck are you smoking? Like, do I need a... I think a lot of people are thinking like, oh, I need a VTT for this. And I'm like, do you? Like, that's going to be kind of one of the questions I'm going to be kind of posing, which is like, do you need a VTT to play this game? I actually think you need a VTT to play it. And if you don't have that VTT to play it, what are you doing kind of thing? Like, you're not playing it right. And the game even kind of implies that. That's like one of the other... That's kind of one of the other kind of stranger moments, is like, it does make the weird implication of, hey, you're not playing this game correctly. You are not playing... you are not playing Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast correctly if you are not playing it on the VTT. You are not playing it on this. You are fundamentally, incorrectly enjoying the game. Which, I was like... And that's going to be one of the things I'm going to have to kind of talk about, because I do find that an interesting thought process, an interesting thought experiment, is... This is a game that is fundamentally unavailable for those who don't want to play, who want to play physical. And I think this is really the first, I would say, kind of the first game, to my knowledge anyway, to my knowledge. Oh, that's the symbol. Like, to my knowledge anyway, this is like the first game to like actively say, like, you physically cannot play if you are not, you know, if you do not own the VTT. Like, you cannot play. Really? The silver stick? I believe that says staff, but... Does it say staff? I'm gonna hope it says staff. I'm just misreading it because it'd be funny if it was stick. No, it says club. They're just variations of the word club. I guess mace would be another one, like mace. Like, I'm assuming this is mace. Like, I'm assuming that's the case. So this would be the silver mace and the golden mace. That would make sense, right? LARPers, more specifically, population of Chaz. Found on the tweet Jay asking for literary agent jump ship, maybe. Must be Rod and Scepter. First is like a bat, but medieval. The rest is clubs. Oi, fuck boy. Fucking beat my head in with a bat. See, that doesn't sound very medieval, Martig. Yeah, a club makes sense, and then the rest are going to be maces. Like, okay, it's a mace. You know, not like, here's a bat, and this is the rest of these are clubs. Like, that sounds a little silly. That sounds a little goofy, personally. While funny in its own way. Though, interestingly enough, under this technicality, to use the golden mace, you must have 2 hands. But you don't need it for the silver mace. So, sorry, silver mace fans. You are getting cucked. Cucko clock for you. Daggers, my favorite. I love daggers in this game, by the way. I love daggers in Enchanted Country, of how they were like the best thing in the game because they were the only thing to kill fucking dragons with. And guess who could use daggers? You're right, Asters could. Nobody else really could, because fuck you. But yeah, it's like I'm not too surprised like Yazbuz isn't doing too hot, just because I'm like, I don't know who this is for. Is it for people who are like interested in that? Because if they are, I'd question, why are you interested in that? Is there something I'm missing with these Evas? And I kind of was asking that in the stream, was like, am I missing something with this game? Because it feels like I am. And I feel this is gonna be silver. Yeah, it's gonna be silver and gold dagger. And I don't mean that being like, well, you're just a fucking idiot. No, I mean that in like a serious, like, am I missing something from the game that would give it a little bit more context? Because I feel like there is a piece of context that we're all kind of just missing. And I don't know what it is. That's the weird thing. I don't know what I'm missing, but I feel like I'm missing something. Part of me is like, oh, it has to be there has to be a thing going on with this, like there is some kind of, you know, secret tool that, you know, it's nice, like, yeah, this is what makes the game make sense. If you have this item, or if you read this section of the game, suddenly the entire thing clicks together beautifully and it's a perfect game and awesome. But I don't think there is in that one? This is unarmed, right? Mm. Lab, and the rest is really clubs. Technically, I think the person who came up to the stream is that target audience, people who need a book to tell them what and vouch for their freedom, and they're interested in fitting and not getting any kind of experience. Yeah, maybe that's the case, but I don't know. Like, something about it is... Something is distinctively wrong with Yazabuz, but I don't know what that wrongness is. And I'm not saying, like, well, it's obviously has to be. It's this, obviously. Like, it has to be. Like, you're fundamentally wrong because of these reasons. No, I don't think it's that. I think it is someone who is... I don't know, a kid, maybe? Someone who... I don't know. I can tell you, I do not know. I'm going to put these in a separate category because I believe these are ranged weapons. Yeah, these are throwing weapons. They are slightly different, so I just want to kind of put them in their own little section by themselves, just to make sure we know that they are, in fact, different from real weapons. And that's why I want to talk about Yazabuz, because I want to talk about it more in a analytical, more higher-minded way. I think it would be really easy for me to go out there and say, this is shit, everyone who likes it is shit, I think you're all dumb, hardy. I think it would be really easy, and I think people would still watch the video and they would still love it. But I feel like that wouldn't also be telling the whole truth about things. I think people want heads on pikes about the game because they don't know what the fuck it is. And I'm interested in it. I think that's my biggest problem with it. I am very interested in the game for all of the wrong reasons. I am not interested in that game for good reasons. And I think that's kind of an issue unto itself, maybe. Crossbow. I like it how crossbows are dirt fucking cheap. Of course, it's an elf arrow. See, that's even funnier because it's like, yeah, fucking darts are roughly on par with a crossbow. Like, you throw 2 darts, you've done better than a fucking crossbow. It's such a weird... Freedom is calling to all men who bend their will. No one's the sense of fabulous ultimate players, it seems like. Yeah, it's... I think the thing with Fabula is... I don't think some people got what I was trying to say with the video, for one, which admittedly I don't think I worded it perfectly the way I should have. However, I still stand by my opinion. Very heavily so. This is armor. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be its own thing. And I will never, like, the thing is, I think it would be very easy for me to be like, well, yeah, you're all right. I won't fight this anymore because I don't wanna. No, I'm like, this is not a good game, and here is my very well articulated reasons why, where I call it a fucking shit hateful lot. Here's my incredibly well-reasoned ideas, my incredibly well-reasoned beliefs of why it's fucking terrible and you're an idiot for liking it. Fuck are you? Nobody knows what Fabuloso Ultimatum is. They just see cute little indie boy twine be cute video game. Stop right there. They don't even open the file. We sell books to people who don't read. Yeah, like unironically, I think that was one of the issues. Now mind you, my thing with that, I think people were mad that I was comparing it to Ryutama a lot. But I don't think they were quite getting what I was trying to put down there, which was, this isn't a very good Ryutama game. Like, that was my biggest issue with it. I'm like, this is not very good at being Ryutama. That's a problem because that's the main game you're trying to compare. Like, you are trying to compare yourself to Ryutama, and you're like, well, no, it's not. Being like, it is, though. That's the issue. 50, 20, 200, 300, 500, 15, 55, 5, and this would be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, plus 1, plus 1. Suka. I made a fundamental error, by the way. Cells. Cell. Because whoever formatted this book is fucking insane. Fun fact, whoever formatted this book is, you may be wondering, fucking insane. And I don't know why it is formatted the way that it is. Outside, the Russian people are wrong. News at 11, everyone. The Russian people wrong. Yeah, let's just... Plate armor. Mithril chainmail. Mithril chainmail. Mithril. Mithril. Hello, it's me. It's Mithril. Oh my god. Oh, Mithril, what are you doing? Shield. Helmet. Gauntlets. There we go. Next we do the things category. Sorry if I'm not responding, I'm just really focused. There we go. So you are going to be a horse. A horse is going to cost you 50. This is poison, I believe. It is poison because I am incredibly intelligent and I know these things. Water detector. That would be liquid. That would be I end up calling it up here. This is the... Give me the potions table. I wish for the potions table. Hello, it's me, Mr. Potions. Bottles, drink recognizer. Drink recognizer. Yes, that's what it is. It's the drink recognizer. Antidote. Antidote. Potion for paralysis. Anti-paralysis potion. Magic lockpicks. That seems a little broken, don't you think? Spell of the Black Wizard having the ability to automatically pick locks? That seems a little broke. Don't you think? No? All right. No, I got the note for gauntlets. Yeah, I got the notes for gauntlets right here. Strength 1. How literally gauntlets make you just go fucking sicko mode. It was still the Soviets, so maybe the book formatted them first. I forgot how much the seasonal sinuses. You missed note. Yeah, I got the gauntlet note. So let's see. We've been doing this for about 2 hours. I think I'm gonna call it here. I do plan on doing a fairly larger stream for this on Saturday. I'm probably going to do this off camera just because it looks like there's going to be a lot of sitting around and doing nothing. If things go according to plan, we're going to do... I'm going to try to finish as much as we can on Saturday, because it looks like it's mostly the spells actually after that, which, oh boy, you know how fun that's going to be. We're gonna blitz through the rest of the instruction manual. Once the instruction manual is done, technically the game is done. like the actual main thing, then we'll probably have to do the Book of Life. We'll actually, I don't even think we need to do the Book of Life. What's going to probably happen is I'm going to do like I did last time, which is to say, we're going to do one adventure. We're just going to put the one adventure in, just be like, this is what's here. Then we have to do the bestiary, and we're going to do what we did with the previous one, with the bestiary. As you kind of see, there's a lot of bestiary here. A lot of that bestiary is going to be things like this. It's not going to be hard. It's just, we're just going to have to type in everything. And it's just going to take time, and it's just going to be like, all right, we're just going to slowly and steadily make our way through, doing all of them. And some of these seem pretty large, so I'm a little bit worried that's going to take some time to do. What I might do, what I may do, if I'm feeling not super confident, is do this first, kind of do the number crunching first, and then add in all the things afterwards. Kind of like make this part of the table and then put a section under the table where I can just copy paste all 100 of these. That's one option. Another option is just ignore the fluff text. Like that is an option, to ignore the fluff text. I don't want to, but you know, I don't think it was at least easy with the with Enchanted Country, because Enchanted Country was very like, all the description was like a sentence sometimes. Some of them just didn't have a description. This one is like everyone has like at least two, 3 sentences. There are mechanics there sometimes. You see the issue. That's why, again, I'll probably do a line with all the stats. It's going to be a line with all the stats. Then it's going to be the description under it. But I'm going to do the stats first. That's going to be kind of the big thing. We're going to do stats first. And that will be legitimately just a day. We're just going to sit here for like 3-4 hours and just do that. It'll probably be 2. It'll just take time. It ain't going to be fun. It's just going to be time consuming. But effectively, we're right here. This is, I think these are just all going to be item descriptions more than anything. So this won't be too difficult. So we've got a lot of work done. We're doing pretty good. Compilation, I don't think compilation will take more than like 1 or 2. It didn't take very long last time, so yeah. So I'm gonna call it there. Thank you all for watching. Godspeed, good luck, love you all, kiss you, you know the rest. If things go according to plan, tomorrow we'll start on Fear and Hunger. We'll probably start on Fear and Hunger tomorrow. Don't quote me on that though, in case I'm not feeling confident. From there, we're going to transfer into the Marvel Multiverse. We're going to do the Marvel Multiverse video for Friday. That one's going to be... Here's the thing. I don't hate the Marvel game. Like, I know there's been a lot of like people being like, this game sucks. I'm like, I don't hate it. I think the issue with it is that it's just very boring. It's a very beige game. And I'm like, yep, it does exist. It doesn't help that a lot of people are comparing it to things like Phase Rip. I'm like, that's not a really fair... That's not a fair comparison. Because one person gives a shit and the other does not. The other is Disney. Yeah, it sure sucked a lot more the first, right? Yeah, the first time I went over it, it was really, really bad. Which, lucky me, I can legitimately just use the same format from the first video and use all the same assets. It's gonna be great. But, and I will use the exact same ending joke, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. But, yeah, I feel pretty good about one. I think that one's going to be a little bit long, because there's just a lot of stuff to talk about. So, if not, we might do a short stream on Thursday. That's the thing, we might do a short stream on Thursday. Where I check some things, if that makes sense. I want to check if I can run a 3DS game. I can set everything up. It's possible, but I want to go over a very weird 3DS game. And I want to see how it looks on stream. So that it might be a little bit of a test stream on Thursday. I don't know. We'll play that one by ear as well. So thank you all. Crimson Shroud, yes, Crimson Shroud. We got it working. We learned how to master throw. We still have no idea how the game actually works. But we learned about how to master throw. That was the most important fact. We did learn how to master throw. With all of the ensuing horrors that entails. So, yes. I'm going to call it there. Thank you. I am away.